Hello, everyone. So today we're going to talk about the importance of an interview and how to be interview ready. So what is an interview? Interviewing is an important step in the employee selection process. If it's done effectively, the interview enables the employer to determine if an applicant's skills, experience, and personality meets the job requirements. So how do I prepare for an interview? First, you have to be in your dedicated workplace. Even if it's a home setup and a remote job that you're applying for, you have to make an impression that you always allot a space in your home that you can work comfortably. Also, you need to be in your webcam during all of your interview sessions. The main purpose of the video interview is to get an overall sense of your base level capabilities and if you're also a good fit for the culture. This will also ensure that you're giving an effort and respect to the interviewer by showing a good disposition during your conversation. Here are some of the things that you need to have on your interview. A noise-canceling headset. This is to ensure that there are no other noise distraction during your conversation with the interviewer. You also have to be on your main computer because sometimes your interviewer might ask you to share your screen. The reason behind is that they might want to check your system if your system meets the requirements. And lastly, you have to be in your wired internet connection. This is to make sure that you secure a good and stable internet connection and won't interrupt the interview session. So you have all of these stuff, then you're pretty much good to go for the interview. So let's move on to the interview. Before your interview and on your interview, you need to create an impression. You need to be presentable. Like what they all say, you have to dress to impress. You need to be attentive during your conversation and answer passionately. All in all, you have to focus on your conversation too. But don't forget to smile. Remember, first impressions last. Here are some of the reminders that we want you to keep in mind on your interview. Good nonverbal behavior. What is a nonverbal behavior? In a face-to-face interview, we normally keep an eye contact to the interviewer during the interview. This is to establish a good connection and also to build trust from the interviewer. But in our end, since we're going to do an online interview and you're going to be on your camera, you need to make sure that you always sit upright and be open with your body posture. You also have to look interested in all of the questions that the interviewer is going to ask you. This will give the interviewer an impression that you're really interested to get the job. Be respectful of the interviewers. Give the utmost respect for interviewers that are conducting the interview and asking you the questions. The people are always writing notes about your answers and your behavior. This is their first impression of you besides what's on your resume. So you want to make sure that you leave a lasting positive impression to the company. Be on time. You need to make sure that you're on time on the interview. At least arrive 10 minutes early on the interview. The company will appreciate timeliness and being prompt. It will also give you a chance to go over what your responses to the questions are as well as to make sure that you look good and feel good. Speak with energy and provide true details. You need to make sure that you always have a lot of positive energy and only provide true details about your previous employment and achievements. Do not ever lie about anything on your interview. A company won't want to hire someone with false information. And lastly, you have to ask questions. The reason why we want you to ask questions on your interview is that it will make you remarkable to the interviewer. You can ask something like, do you have any doubts or hesitations about my resume or my answers so that I can address it before I leave? This is one of the best questions that you're going to ask the employer so that you can redeem yourself. We do not know if the answer you provided to the employer is what they wanted to hear from you. That's why you need to ask. You can also ask more than 1 or 2 questions. That's totally fine as long as it's necessary. After the interview, you have to appreciate the time that they spent on the conversation. Thank them for taking the time. Well, that's pretty much it. Well, if you want to make sure that you have everything in mind, you can actually watch the video once again by clicking the link that we sent through your email. Thank you and good luck.